Let's talk North Korea, where we could get that announcement of the sanctions from the U.S. Treasury anytime now. What are we expecting here, and will it make a difference at this point?
You know, I think we owe it to ourselves, to the people of that region, to the U.S. service members who we would send into harm's way if there were a war, to do everything we can diplomatically through economic sanctions and through this new finding that North Korea is a state sponsor of terrorism. So whatever it does to hamper that government's ability to work with other countries in the world to ratchet up the diplomatic and international pressure to forestall a war and further nuclearization of the peninsula is worth trying. And so I am wishing this administration and Secretary Tillerson the best in their efforts. As you probably know, Congress voted 434 to 1 to resolve to find North Korea as a state sponsor of terrorism. So this country is unified in trying to do everything we can short of war right now to try to ensure that we have peace going forward.
And I think a lot of people, Congressman, are wondering what took so long for Washington, both parties, to label them a state sponsor of terrorism. It seems pretty obvious to people outside of Washington. Let me ask you, though, this point, because the president just spoke with Vladimir Putin, and Russia and China play a significant role, as you know, in terms of addressing the threat of North Korea. But are sanctions actually working? I mean, UN Ambassador Nikki Haley was able to get Russia and China on board to some extent. But look, are they actually working? And at what point do we have to move beyond sanctions?
Look, this is an incredibly tough, slow, frustrating, deliberate process, but it sure beats the alternative. If we go to war with North Korea, the body count will not be measured in the hundreds or thousands, but tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, potentially even millions. And we've got to do everything possible to ensure that we resolve this peacefully. And I think there are a number of options still left to this country, including exercising our extraordinary power of convening the countries that we need to work with, including China, including Russia, including some of those that we don't have the best of relationships with, but who also have a vested interest in ensuring that this is resolved peacefully. And so I want to make sure that this administration does everything that it can with the full support of Congress and the American people to try to achieve this peacefully. I think there's still time and room to do it, but we also need a comprehensive strategy there, and we need the administration to be able to articulate that to us and to the American public, because it is confusing, it is frustrating, and it's unclear right now what we have done, whether what we have done is helping to get to our ultimate goal there, which is denuclearization of the peninsula, peaceful resolution to the conflict between North Korea and South Korea, and preventing using the U.S. military and the service members whose lives will be on the line to try to resolve that.